What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Over this past weekend, I was in Myrtle Beach and I got to watch Peter Yan versus Sean O'Malley. Now in the moment, as many of us do, the fight finishes and I went, oh, this guy obviously won the fight. I'm not gonna spoil yet who I thought won, but I had a distinct winner. But we're gonna go back today, we're gonna watch fight highlights, I'm gonna go through the whole thing, and at the end we're gonna determine who the real winner was. So upon the conclusion of this fight, we had Sean O'Malley saying he went back, rewatched the fight, saying, yes, I absolutely won. And now we have Peter Yan, who is saying he's so disgusted by the decision, he's considering leaving the UFC. Probably not actually the case. I don't even know if he can leave under contract, but still, we have two guys who definitely think they won, and this is worth going over again and watching. And big props to both these fighters for going through the whole 15 minutes and battling it out. I want to take a quick moment and thank the sponsor of this episode, By Optimizers. I literally just came from the gym prepping up for my next fight, and I managed to do 8 3-minute rounds, smashing and smashing and smashing the pads. Recovery was high level. And this is something, as soon as I got home, I popped 2 of these so that for my next session, I am feeling on point. I also take them before bed. Magnesium from By Optimizers is being a lifesaver. If you want to try this amazing supplement, which I swear by at this point after experimenting with it, you can head over to magnesiumbreakthrough.com/Gabriel. Use the promo code Gabriel10 to save 10% on this product. And keep in mind that high-level fighters like Peter Yan and Sean O'Malley are 100% on supplements that are improving their performance day to day in the gym. So let's take no more time to get into this fight. Let's start right now. So here we go. The most interesting thing when you look at the stats for these fighters is obviously the height and the reach advantage. And if I remember correctly, we saw Sean O'Malley very, very well utilizing that extra length he has in his arms. So, beginning of the fight, one of the first things that I noted when we see Sean O'Malley crawl his way out, he's very Conor McGregor-esque right now. His movement and everything he does. He does good fakes, and one of the things that I want to talk about at the conclusion of this fight is the comparison between O'Malley and Conor McGregor in terms of him being a superstar for the UFC. So lots of moving around. I don't want to talk too much during this because I'm going to really be trying to score properly. So I'll probably quiet down at a few points, throw some highlights up. The first round is quite important who takes it. At least in my memory, when we looked at the scorecards, we saw that I think a couple of the judges gave it to Peter Yan, but that was not my recollection in watching. So fairly even so far, nothing really of note having happened. Good movement from O'Malley, maintaining that distance. He has that nice front kick off the rear leg like Conor McGregor, and switching stances all the time. Peter Yan also switching stances a lot, which I don't like as much because he steps in to that cross of O'Malley. O'Malley switches, he switches, and then he seems to step a lot of times into that cross, giving the advantage to O'Malley. So far, Sean landing a cross, not too much else happening yet. Nice jab from O'Malley there. Good job from Sean O'Malley, just faking, baiting the movement, and then throwing the 1-2. Again, overhand from Sean O'Malley, followed by the front kick. His work rate right now is so much higher than that of Peter Yan. And in my opinion, in the first round, it seemed like Peter was not letting go. You would think that his strategy would be to overwhelm and outwork Sean O'Malley, but we didn't see him do that. Another cross lands from Sean O'Malley. He clearly has the first round so far. O'Malley swing and a miss, or sorry, Peter Yan a swing and a miss. O'Malley doing a good job pumping out that triple jab, well moving sideways, making it very difficult to get tagged as a counter. And just fantastic work from him right now, just sort of showing that distance control. Peter Yan takes the back. This is where it's really going to come into play how you score, whether control of the back with what I remember being very little damage. We'll watch here and see. But do you land or score the shots that Sean O'Malley landed so far, or do you score back control? I personally look more at damage, and that back control to me didn't amount to much because there was no damage, no submissions, attempts, nothing that really came of it. So I still have O'Malley leading this round comfortably, even though he hasn't landed anything that's really busted up Peter Yan. Nice corkscrew or sort of overhand there from Peter though, or Petter. Good push on the takedown attempt there. And there's a takedown from Peter Yan. Again, my scoring is more with the takedown you need to accomplish something. So if you're going to hold the guy and ground and pound him, that's great. If you're going to go for submission attempts, that's great. But if you're basically just dropping weight on the person and doing nothing, then I don't really look at it as being scored. Little submission attempt there from Sean O'Malley, but nothing really came of it. Petter has about 1 minute here to work, landing some nice ground and pound there. This is turning into a closer round now, much closer. I'm going to watch very, very carefully for the last 30 seconds to see if somebody can sneak it out. Any big shots landing, any clean blows. We did have one solid connection from Petter earlier in the round, that nice takedown. A shot there by Sean. Nothing really came of it. Yikes. That's just a hard round to score. This is very difficult. In the moment, I remember thinking that Sean O'Malley won that first round, but then as we go back and watch, I'm like, oh, it's closer than I remember. There wasn't loads of damage created in Sean's strikes, but he definitely landed more. But Petter got that nice slow motion takedown, which we just saw there, and got some good ground and pound. Nothing substantial landing from either guy. Gun to my head. I don't even know. I wish they would do some draw rounds. And like I said, I'm not an MMA scoring expert. I'd have to find out more about what the criteria is in terms of, does a shot equal, like, you know, a takedown shot, does that equal the same as a big punch landed? Or does it not really count for anything unless you do something after? That's the way I feel it should be, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I wish I could just give that a draw. I'm just going to kind of go, I don't really know. Very close round. That might not help you guys in scoring. Petter coming out more aggressively now. This is where I remember him going, oh, okay, finally, this is what I thought he would have started the fight like. Just that pressure, that push. Sean, nice little jab cross there to follow up though. Big overhand off of the southpaw stance from Sean O'Malley. He's pumping forward. Good distance control from Petter Yan, but he still looks like he's taking a bit of a drop on the scorecards at this point. Oh, and there's a big overhand from Petter, and he gets to the back, takes Sean down, landing some good shots there. Boom, boom, clubbing him. That's what I thought we were going to see. That's what I figured the fight would kind of be like. obviously with the good distance control from Sean, but that would be happening. And Petter on top, it's banging away a little bit here and there. We see Sean moving those legs around, good control, making sure nothing's landing from the guard. But clear early lead for Petr Yan. Just because of that nice takedown after landing that big power shot. Just folding O'Malley over right now. O'Malley almost got back up there, but back controlled, or not back, side controlled. And Petr probably going to spin around here, but O'Malley doing a very, very good job of making sure he doesn't get stuck down on his back. Well, foot stomps. I'm not a big fan of the foot stomps. We are 2 minutes into the round, and Petr definitely leading. We'll have to see how this one plays out. I remember thinking that Yan definitely took the second round. Big swing and a miss there from Petr Yan. Nice takedown, a little trip there, fakes the front kick, wraps around. Again, doesn't accomplish too much off it because O'Malley's back up already now. But that was a beautiful little sweep. Sean does a good job with those front kicks. He just snaps them out like Conor McGregor. Doesn't move his opponent back, but he definitely inflicts some good damage. Yan putting that pressure on O'Malley. O'Malley's back up to the cage. And I just love that jab distance control from O'Malley, but he just ate a jab there, being a little too slow on the rechamber, not getting his footwork off. Petr also does a very nice job with the long guard. He just long guards out, keeps the other hand up, moves his head slightly off the center line. He's done a very nice job of evading big shots from O'Malley. We got 1 minute 30-ish left in the second round. Petr, in my opinion, far, far ahead at this point for this round. Nothing of note crazy happening right now. Both fighters slowing down. That was a fast-paced round, so taking a little break as you would expect they will. That was a good shot there from O'Malley, just sort of behind the guard. Taking a little breather. Petr, when he throws, he just hawks everything into it. Almost a little too much power in my opinion, because he looks like he's slightly out of position when he finishes those big shots. But he scores another takedown, wrapping up those legs kind of the way we saw Khabib do, except Khabib would now wrap his feet under the calves of O'Malley and take control of that lower body, or lower section of the body, making it very difficult for O'Malley to go anywhere. But still nice control here from Yan. With only 25 seconds left in this round, you have to imagine that there's just not much Sean is going to be able to do here to win this round, and it'll be a clear 10-9 for Petr Yan. 10 seconds more, and yeah, with this control, we definitely have a round for Yan here. The first round is one that's going to be very difficult to score, and I can see that honestly going either way, just simply because who knows what judges are thinking in terms of takedown. I'd have to know more about the scoring. I'd be very interested to know, is it still like, it's not obviously not knockdowns and damage being the first criteria because there's the takedowns and such, but I'd be very interested to see an MMA scoring criteria and just sort of see what they say, or if there's nothing very distinct. That was a lovely takedown there, just a slow motion there from Petr Yan that we got to see. Nice fake with a open hand slap and then going to the body with the left round kick. That's a great transition if you ever want to do something. You fake high, get the guy to raise his arm up to block, and then come with the low kick. The timing has to be very fast between. So In my opinion, it's going to come down to this round, and basically O'Malley has to win it to even be in this fight. Otherwise, we have a clear robbery, and Petr Yan should have definitely won and has an argument for being very upset about the outcome. So let's watch this one really close and see what happens here. I think I remember Petr Yan getting cut up a little bit. I like how he keeps his guard very tight. I know a lot of people say you can't do that as well in MMA and UFC, but he just does a fantastic job. But Sean O'Malley just peppering that jab out, bam. I'd like to see Petr just pull back on those power punches just a little. Good attempt here on the takedown, but Sean, look at that, just so limber, just pulls his leg right out. And it's pretty much an equal round at this point. Nothing really of note having happened. The nice little flick jabs are coming along very well though. Still, fairly neutral round. We're 1 minute in. We're going to need to see something massive from Sean O'Malley to give him the win in this round and put him back in the fight, chance of winning in this discussion. It's going to be a hard one. Definitely a close fight, that's for sure. There's no massive clear robbery like in boxing where we saw one person obviously won and the judges are just completely spacing out. I've seen that many times before, as most of you have. And we don't want MMA becoming the same as boxing where there's these robberies where just, going, what the heck? There's no way this guy should have won. But up to this point, still nothing of note having landed. Petr taking control of that leg, but O'Malley just so flexible. Nice knee there from Sean O'Malley. I wonder if that's the one that cut him. He's a little bit more on the hunt now, Sean. Yan backing up, giving some distance, got to deal with that blood. It's a nice high kick there. I don't think it landed. Good overhand, good left hook from Petr there. Oh, that one rocked Sean. Good calf kick, but there was something upstairs from O'Malley there. Right now, this is a very close fight. That was a nice high kick, but I mean, it really didn't land. It went off the guard. Was Petr Yan hurt? Yes or no? I'm not sure. We got Petr pushing O'Malley up against the cage. Again, this is a close round right now. We got a good strike from each guy. Obviously, O'Malley cut Petr Yan during his knee, but do we score blood as damage, or do we look and go, oh, okay, you know what? One knee landed, cut him, the big, I think it was left hook, landed for Petr, and those kind of nullify each other, or are we giving blood as, actual damage? I don't tend to look at blood and go, oh, it's worth more. I could see an inexperienced person thinking that, but a cut's superficial. It doesn't really account for real damage. And we got some nice submission attempt. I don't think Sean has anything really happening here. He's got Petr Yan's arm, but it's not a real submission attempt. Petr controlling the back. 1 minute 30 left. This is a darn close round too. Like I said, the blood doesn't mean much to me. So we have one good technique from Sean O'Malley. Minute 20 left. I really need to see something from each fighter here to take this round. Man, these kind of fights are just exciting to watch, but kind of frustrating to score. I empathize with the judges. Both fighters swing and a miss. Oh, big shots from both fighters. I think Petr Yan got the better of that. Like he landed the shot there in that exchange, which is a little more damaging. Nice back control from him here. I'd like to see him mash up O'Malley's thigh. Good rollout from from Sean O'Malley. This is a good round. This is just a great fight overall. That long guard working again there for Petr Yan just to stop the cross from landing. I just wish that cut didn't happen because I just feel like people score blood as a negative thing. But again, to me, I've been cut so many times with headbutts and such that they're just superficial. Nice takedown there from Petter. It was actually Sean O'Malley engaging, but didn't get it done. So score there for Petter, and he's gonna finish on top. It's a lot of takedowns for him in this fight. And that's pretty much it, guys. We've got seconds left. And I honestly gotta go the last round for Petter Yan. The first round, I know, I did not have a good answer for you. I didn't know who won the first round. I thought it was very tight, could have gone either way. You could 100% disagree with me, but I'm going 10-9 in round 2 for Petter Yan and 10-9 in round 3 for Petter Yan. I don't look at the cut and go, that's real damage. I go superficial damage, and he nullified it with that big shot that he landed. So yes, I do not necessarily agree with that decision. But first, before we wrap up, I want to talk about one thing in particular about this fight, and that is the potential superstar that Sean O'Malley could be. And whenever there's that position where somebody can be a superstar, I can't not question whether there's some sway in either the judges or the organization's mind that, look at, if Petter wins, we have somebody who's back in title contention, but he's never going to be the Conor McGregor superstar. But then we have Sean O'Malley, who could be a Conor McGregor superstar. He's another guy that could propel the UFC to new heights. As soon as we have somebody like Sean O'Malley in that position, I go, oh, it kind of reminds me of boxing, where there's these superstars who seem to get wins, which they should not deserve. And in this fight, I got to question whether there's something happening here, or 100%, I could just be mistaking the MMA scoring. So you guys, let me know what you think. Be sure to make sure you get on this Optimizers supplement. I cannot speak highly enough about it. Magnesium, it's gonna help with your recovery. It's gonna help with your sleep. Head over to magnesiumbreakthrough.com/Gabriel, and you can use the promo code Gabriel10 to save. I am looking forward to looking at your comments and seeing who thinks O'Malley or Petter Yan should have won this fight. If you have not gone back and watched it, I suggest you do, just simply because it was very close. But ultimately, in the end, I have Petter Yan taking the win. That's all for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I will have more exciting episodes for you from Myrtle Beach in collab with Sensei Seth, Icy Mike, Shane Faison from Fight Tips. Those will be coming very soon. As always, guys, train hard, and I will see you back here soon for another video.